Welcome, my viewers. Are you getting bored in everyday monotonous job and feeling very much disappointed because of the worries and the anxieties in that job? And you want to get rid of, at least for sometimes daily. I have a solution for you. I would like to suggest to involve yourself in any hobbies. Hobbies are driven by your passion, what you like, but where profession is your compulsion. Because you need money for the sustenance of yourself and or your family. But a hobby doesn't have such. And more surprising thing is that hobby has a lot of the benefit physically as well as mentally. There is nothing harm in doing a hobby. It is your engagement with your passion. And your brain reads this. Take this as a note that it is also getting time for revive themselves. But so far the children are concerned, they don't have that much agony, worries, or the anxieties in their childhood. But they also feel at some point of the times that too much nagging parents always poke them to read, study, write. But how far a student can write, read, study? Basically, reading, write, and studying all can make the grumpy boy or girl, and he or she is going to become the couch potato. In order to restrict that kind of the thing, they must develop some hobby. And a hobby is not a thing that you can forcefully tell. It's out of their passion. And sometimes that passion may be because of the influence by the other peer group. It may happen. But even then, the conscious decision was taken by him or her student. So far my childhood is concerned, I was born and brought up in some rural area of the West Bengal. As a country bumpkin, and also as per the influence of the contemporary boys in that locality, I had developed all that quality as a village boy. Very little study time and big playing time. And that playing involved the varieties kind of the playing, from conventional as well as the non-conventional. So what is conventional? Football, cricket, badminton, volleyball. These are conventional play. Non-conventional, riding the tree, jumping from the tree, running, and playing satolia, playing marble, like that many of the things. So definitely no need to say that playing was my hobby. But I also felt bored while playing for the long time. So there are some variation which I felt that times I need. So apart from playing, I developed a hobby of uh, further walking in the countryside in the unknown area. Yes, at the corner outside my village, there were little stream flowing, and basically at in that area nobody goes. So I have some special fascination for going to that site and to enjoy the nature and enjoy the singing of the flowing waters and the murmur of the air and the rustles of the leaves falling from the trees. All are quite amazing for me at that times. I developed loving to nature. I developed the gardening from that love with the nature. Playing, walking around the countryside, and love for the nature, for the gardening. Yes, for planting the lot of the flowery trees, and which, after blooming the flowers, create me immense pleasuring sensations in me. That with the help of nature, with the help of the mother nature and the sun, I had also contributed to develop some things to bloom for the immense satisfactions of this plant and the tree and the flowery tree, and also for me. And that tool, that flower, when it goes for the worshipping of the God, it doubles my the level of the satisfactions and the contentment. So the basic three hobby is the majority of the hobby is the playing, various kind of the playing, moving around the countryside, and also the gardening. Another passion I developed at that times, drawing. I'm not claiming myself that I was quite passionate about the drawings and I'm good proficient in the drawing. But actually what happens, because of my need in the study, I had to draw many things in the biology, physics, and that's why I thought, why not associate these things to my hobby so that I can develop bit by bit. And that's why, apart from drawing from the curricular things, which is my compulsion, I also developed myself that property of drawing the natural beauty. So basically, my childhood life was associated with these four hobbies. But what about in some rainy days? In some rainy days, when my motion is restricted because of the rain outside, I cannot play outside. For those particular day, again another hobby I developed, and that is the reading of the novels. At that times, my reading of the novel was limited only to study in the my vernacular language, Bangla. And at that time itself, uh, by the time when I was studying in the class 7 and 8, I almost finished all the writing by Sharad Chandra Chattopadhyay and some of Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, big novel. And I got this opportunity because my father collected all those things and keep in his possessions. And my father was a member of a library of the local nearby village, and thereby also he used to get a lot of the storybooks, which I also used to read completely. And I developed the habit, very small things in one go, simply. Start and finish within 2 to 3 hours, visualizing the nature, what is described by the authors, with complete memory picture of that things. So these are the five hobbies in my childhood. But definitely, oh, the hobby which has the great impact in me, that is the playing, the varieties kind of the playing. I was not a good player, but to be a team player, to be associated with the teams, to enjoy the jokes and to enjoy the criticism of the team members because of some wrong actions, it's all okay for me. And I like to be in the company of the people. So this kind of the property was developed at that time itself because of the playing. To summarize, the playing was my biggest hobby, which impacted more in my life. Moving around the countryside and enjoying the nature, second hobby. Gardening, third hobby. And drawing, fourth hobby. Fifth hobby is reading the novels, stories. So these are all associated in my childhood days. And I believe in the fact that hobbies have immense power to distract yourselves in the worries and the agonies in the real life. And it is better to be involved in such kind of activity in order to get relief from the monotonous activity which can create irritations in the mind. Yes or no? So if you want to get rid of that monotonous life, you can also develop some hobby. Thank you.